Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. I told you I wasn't going to keep quiet about the Enzo Fernandez deal, and lo and behold we are back here a few hours after the last video with the latest updates on the Enzo Fernandez transfer saga. I honestly don't think I've ever been so transfixed to, let me show you, this mobile cellular device. It is currently 10 minutes past 12 in the morning of deadline day in Bali right now. And it's not just me in Bali, it is Egg Bali doing the work right now for Chelsea in Portugal, as he is apparently not taking no from Rui Costa and Benfica as an answer. We're going to be going through a few more other news stories, and I'm going to try and keep this as up to date as humanly possible here, so that when you watch this video, if you watch it within the first few hours of it going live, you're as up to date as I am on where Chelsea are at right now with the Enzo Fernandez news. I'm going to speak the facts as of just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the United Kingdom. So, what we know right now is Chelsea have submitted an official offer of £105 million, which is 120 million euros. This is the release clause that we have heard so much information about. Rui Costa has said the only way Chelsea get Enzo Fernandez during this January transfer window is if we submit an offer of the release clause. Now, the only issue behind this offer of £105 million from Chelsea is that right now Chelsea have offered a large upfront payment and then the rest in smaller installments. So, Rui Costa, as of right now, is not specifically getting what he's asked for in order to accept Chelsea's bid. There are many, many other little caveats here that we're going to go into, but the most important thing right now is that Rui Costa has changed his plans. He was supposed to be going to some celebratory dinner this evening, and he's called up and he's been like, look, we're going to have to Uber Eats at McDonald's today, mate, because I've got some other stuff to deal with. Can we do this celebration another time, please? So Rui Costa's not going for his dinner. And at this rate, Chelsea, we've only really got about 30 hours left of the transfer window. We've already submitted this bid. Negotiations are reportedly ongoing as I'm talking to you lot right now. I wish we could be a fly in the wall of these negotiations, because it would be absolutely fascinating. Netflix, get making the Chelsea documentary. But I don't think he's changing his plans, do you? Unless there is something significant that's going to happen at the club. If it is simply the case of Rui Costa said 120 million euros, if you don't pay it up front, then we're going to reject it because that's the price, that's what we've asked for. You don't do that, you don't get the man. If that was the case, he'd just reject it and go and eat his Portuguese tarts or whatever he's going to be eating at this celebratory dinner. So for that reason, I think this giant knock on the door from Todd Boehly and Bedad Egbali right now from Chelsea is making all of the difference. Chelsea have really come in here with the penultimate day of the transfer window, submitted an official bid, and at this moment in time, I don't see any way that Benfica cannot accept this bid. The other news, the other caveat that we have is that Enzo Fernandez did not train today with Benfica. It's obviously now late in the afternoon, we're getting towards the evening. Benfica training is done, and Enzo Fernandez didn't train. Why didn't he train, you may ask? Well, that is relatively obvious. Because he's desperate to move to our football club, to join the Brazilian Thiago Silva, the Argentinian, Brazilian, South American contingent of Chelsea players in the history of our club. Is about to hopefully gain another member. And as a world champion, I am so excited about this. The bid is in. It is entirely now up to Rui Costa. And as well as that, we got other caveats to add into things. There is also pressure from other members of the board at Benfica. So as much as Mr. Costa is the man making the final decisions, and I've tried to be respectful to Rui Costa, but at the moment he's the most hated man at Chelsea Football Club, or related to Chelsea Football Club, because we just want free Enzo. We want the hashtag to have a positive outcome for everybody involved. Rui, mate, you get 120 million euros. You could do a lot with that. That's a lot of Freddos, mate. Enzo could come to London and he can have just a great time and help create probably the most scary football team in Europe for many, many years to come. Now, obviously right now, this is a tentative subject. It can change at any given moment. But Enzo Fernandez is the player pushing this deal, and Chelsea have got everybody in Portugal right now trying to make this happen as quickly as possible. There is also the devil's advocate element that we also need to remind ourselves of at this stage during this deal. Benfica might simply be stalling on accepting anything because the later it goes, the harder it might be for Chelsea to get medicals done. Personal terms are already agreed. So when we're talking about on the back foot, Benfica are already down to 6 men and they're playing against the greatest Brazil team of all time and they're 2-0 down with 8 minutes to go. It's not looking likely that they're going to get the result they want, but the money is on the table. Will Rui Costa accept 120 million euros, but not all of it in one go? That is the significant point that needs to be made here right now. Everything else, you guys know about it, but Chelsea are doing everything they can to make Enzo Fernandez a Chelsea player. So, going to move on from the Enzo Fernandez deal now, because during this whole day where we've been looking and waiting for updates on Enzo Fernandez, there have been significant conversations had about other players as well. We're going to start with the positives. The positive is Chelsea are working seriously hard to get the work permit for Andre Santos pushed through, because Graham Potter sees him as a player in his plans for the remainder of this season. This is incredible. I actually think Chelsea's best chance of Champions League is A, Enzo Fernandez signing, and then A, leading on to part B, winning the flipping Champions League. Hit the like button on this video if you believe we can, because I bloody well do. So, Andre Santos, we're working on the work permit. We see him in the squad. This is incredible news. The man scored 3 goals in the first 3 games of the Under-20 South American Championships for Brazil. He's the captain, he's scoring headers, he's running through entire teams. The man is absolutely phenomenal, and he's a Chelsea player. We've bought him this January. Another player to get significantly excited about. I'm just going to do a very quick scroll of Twitter just to make sure that I really am as up to date as I think I am, because I think that we're okay. We're okay. Andre Santos, Chelsea trying to get the work permit done. The next piece of news is from David Ornstein. It looks as though Jorginho will be leaving Chelsea in the summer. Why is this? Well, Chelsea are looking to revitalise by signing Enzo Fernandez. See how all of this just comes in together? And then we tie the final story, which is, well, not the final story, but another story. Charlie Webster has signed a contract extension at Chelsea. Really, really good young talent as well. Chelsea doing well to lock him in. Whether he breaks into the first team, everything looks very unlikely for young players at this moment in time, but we know how the cycle goes. Chelsea go on big spending sprees, then a few years later we see a burst through of academy players. Even if he doesn't break through, Chelsea command a higher fee because he signed a new deal. The final story, unless my tweet deck explodes whilst I'm recording this, Conor Gallagher, an official bid has been made from Everton for £40 million, with £5 million additional in add-ons for Conor Gallagher. If Enzo Fernandez signs, unfortunately for Conor, he probably would be one of the players who would significantly miss out from this. And even though I think 40 million to 45, Chelsea could probably get a bit more. I think we could get 50. But if Chelsea sell a homegrown player in Conor Gallagher now, that 40 million is pure profit for the player. So when we're worried about FFP, when we're worried about how much money we're spending, is 45 million quid a little bit too good to turn down for Conor Gallagher, who's going to become a fringe player, because we're about to break the world record for signing a midfielder. £105 million is a world record fee for a midfielder, and Chelsea want to spend that money on Enzo Fernandez. So, with Everton coming in, Conor Gallagher doesn't want to go to Everton, and I think I understand this completely, because Conor doesn't deserve to be in a relegation scrap. And I think at this moment, I would say Newcastle is the favoured club for Conor Gallagher. Apparently Bayer Leverkusen are also interested in the player as well. So I think at this point in time, Chelsea may well accept the Gallagher offer, because then if we are left in a situation where we have got to just make up 15, 20 million up front to get Rui Costa to accept that deal for Enzo Fernandez in the next 36 hours, Conor will suffer as a result of him coming in anyway. He deserves to be playing first team football. But for me, it's just a massive shame because I think Connor is Chelsea through and through. He wants to make it at our club, which you always want to see. He tries so hard. It's not really been the season for him that we would have wanted or he would have wanted, but I do think 45 million might just be too good to turn down. Chelsea may negotiate. We may go back and ask for more, but I'm led to believe at the moment that Chelsea would be willing to accept this deal. But right now, Connor doesn't want to go to Everton. Totally get that as well. They're an absolute mess. Brilliant club throughout history, but a giant mess at this moment in time. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'm going to be staying up as late as I possibly can. It's already late. Rui Costa's not going to his meeting, so I'm probably not going to go to my meeting with my bed for a while. So, yeah, if you appreciate the uploads, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the George Benson Football channel. If you're new around here and you're excited to see if we get this deal over the line, I'm absolutely buzzing. Come on, you Blues.